Hello Pokemon fans, and welcome to another one of my top 10 videos. This is a video about the top 10 Pokemon that I am most looking forward to in Pokemon X and Y. Now for those of you who are watching this in the future, after October 12th when the game comes out, this is my opinion based off of what Pokemon we know about in 2013 before October 12th. So basically as of October 3rd, 2013. So please don't leave any comments about, these Pokemon are so much cooler than those. For one thing, these are my opinions, and these are also pre the game. So, before we get into it, I just wanted to make a quick note about the picture that you're seeing right now. This is, of course, it's Hanna, for those of you who have seen my DeviantArt and stuff. But Suki and I are planning a new fan fiction. It's a Pokemon-based fan fiction, because I've been getting him into Pokemon lately with all my talk of Pokemon X and Y coming out. So we've been discussing a possible Pokemon fan fiction that we might make. And this is a design that I came up with for Hanna. I'm not sure if I want her to have short hair or if I want her to have long hair and a ponytail, but this is the outfit I came up with her hair in the ponytail, or with her hair short. And for those of you who've seen all the way back to my Cardcaptor Chronicles stuff, the star on her shirt is supposed to symbolize her star from that fan fiction. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. My top 10 favorite Pokemon, starting at number 10. Furfrou. At least I think that's how it's pronounced. This one made it to the bottom 10. I was trying to there's not a whole lot of a selection right now, so out of the ones I weeded out of, I'm not really looking forward to at all. He's squeaked into this. I kind of like the idea of being able to groom him so that he can take on different forms based off of the grooming. I do wish you didn't have to groom him like all the time in order to keep that grooming, but it is a nice little feature that they're putting into the game to go along with the customization of the avatar. You can also customize the look of your Pokemon, which is kind of cool. But he's still not really one of my favorites. He's just someone I like better than the others. Number 9 is Spritzee. Now, there was a bit of controversy. People didn't really like Spritzee or the new Cottony, I think it was called, the Cotton Candy Pokemon, and this is the Perfume Pokemon. Out of those two, I do like Spritzee better, and I am looking forward to catching him and playing with him in the game. I do hope I get a girl, Spritzee, but she's a fairy type, so I'm really looking forward to the fairy type. Very much looking forward to fairy types. Sadly, she's in Pokemon Y, and I'll be getting Pokemon X. So I won't be able to get her unless I decide later on to buy Pokemon Y or get her in a trade. Number 9 is Pancham. I was debating on whether to put Pancham in the list or not, but with the minimum selection, I decided to throw him in there because I don't hate him, and especially don't hate him as much as I hate some of the others. I don't really hate them, but I don't really like them. Pancham is a rather cute little Pokemon. I might just keep him as he is rather than evolve him. You don't have to evolve him if you don't want to, as long as you don't have a dark type in your party. I do find it a little odd that they would have that rule, but then again, they've also apparently going to have Inkay, where you can flip the 3DS upside down to make it evolve, which is, I feel, is kind of stupid. Makes me wonder how it evolves in the anime. Pancham is still pretty cute, and I might wind up catching him and using him a lot. Especially since there are a lot of fire types that I'm looking forward to catching. Although, I was considering putting Leo on here. I like him. I'm probably going to catch him. But at the same time, I'm also thinking about just not using him that much since I plan on having a lot of fire types in my team. Moving on to number 7 of the list, we have Amara. I've never really been too into the fossil types, but I'm rather looking forward to Amara. I think it's got a really cool looking design. It's really pretty. And its evolution is kind of pretty too. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. It also actually looks like a classic dinosaur. The other one looks like a T-Rex, which is another classic one that pretty much everyone knows what it is. And I'll probably catch one or restore one and call it Littlefoot, based off of the main character from Land Before Times. That's what I thought of immediately when I saw this thing. I instantly thought of Land Before Times Littlefoot. Although I would never name Aerodactyl Petrie, or if they ever made a Triceratops Pokemon, I'd never name it Sarah. And I'm probably never gonna name the I might name the T-Rex one Sharktooth. That would be kind of funny, actually. Littlefoot and Sharktooth. But, yeah, this is the first fossil type that I've ever really been excited for, and I'm looking forward to restoring it. So, I hope I can find out which fossil I would need beforehand, because most games give you the choice of picking, this fossil or the other. So, I'm hoping I pick the right fossil to get this thing. Very much looking forward to that. Anyway, moving on to number 6 on the list is Fletchling. I'm rather excited about Fletchling. This is the first time, when he evolves, he has a dual type, the flying and fire type. And that's the first time we've seen that in the bird Pokemon that we catch early in the game. So you have Pidgey. When it evolves all the way to Pidgeot, it's still a flying type. With Tailo, evolves all the way to Swellow, Swellot. No, I'm thinking of Swalot. But yeah, when it evolves all the way to Swellow, it's still a flying type. Pidove, evolve all the way to Tranquil, still a flying type. Actually, I forgot about Starly. Starly, when you evolve all the way to Staravia, it's still a flying type. But Fletchling, when you evolve him into, I forget his name off the top of my head, but when you evolve him, he actually becomes a flying fire type, which is, I think that's pretty cool. I'm very much looking forward to that. Talonflame, that's right, it was Talonflame. I'm looking forward to catching him and evolving him into Talonflame and getting a dual type flying type. That I usually keep those guys pretty much throughout my game, so that'll be cool to have him. But again, he's a fire type, and along with the Torchic and the Fennekin that I plan on getting, I'm gonna have a lot of fire types when I play Pokemon X. So hopefully there are a lot of other types coming out that I decide that I really like, that I decide I want to play with. Coming up in number 5 is Sylveon. I have to admit, I'm one of those types who always loves Eevee and Eeveelutions. I guess I wasn't too crazy when they introduced Glaceon and Leafeon, but at the time I wasn't all that into Pokemon. I was sort of, in that zone where I was rather upset that they got rid of Misty, but I liked May. And then I was sad that they got rid of May, and I felt like Dawn was just too much of a May clone, because they did have so much in common at the beginning. And then later on, May becomes her own, or Dawn becomes her own character. But eventually I did get back into Pokemon, and I have all 7 Eeveelutions, so I'm looking forward to getting an Eevee in Pokemon X and evolving into Sylveon, so I'll have 8 Eeveelutions. I'm also looking forward to hopefully getting the card, because I've got a deck in the Pokemon trading card game online that's all Eevee and its evolutions. It's a pretty tricky deck to play, but it is playable. I went about to at least half my battles, and I'm just looking forward to seeing Sylveon and seeing how she plays, so that'll be a cool thing to do. Plus, she also has the new type, Fairy type, so I'm very much looking forward to playing Fairy types. Speaking of Fairy types, that brings us to number 4 on my list, Flabebe. Flabebe was, I believe Flabebe was the first Fairy type to be introduced aside from Sylveon. And I just think this thing is adorable. In the Pokemon fanfiction that Suki and I are planning on writing, we've already got our teams put up for our main 4 characters, and we're going to use our usual characters again, and we're going to have Nadeshiko in it this time. And she wanted to catch Flabebe, but Flabebe decides that it's kind of scared of Nadeshiko and runs over to Renee every time she tries to catch it. So Renee winds up catching Flabebe because it tries to follow her. And I did that because it was one of my favorites of the released Pokemon. And that's probably going to keep Flabebe being one of my favorite Pokemon. I'm very much looking forward to seeing if this thing evolves. I really hope it does, because I can just imagine at its really small size, it's probably not going to be the best of battlers, but I'm still looking forward to playing with it. Next on the list is number 3. We have Meowstic. Now, I was rather disappointed with the name Meowstic, because it just sounded very much like Meowth. But the fact that it's a cat Pokemon brings it up to pretty high on my list. If you remember my last top 10 list, I had 2 cat Pokemon on my top 10 list. So, naturally, Meowstic is going to be in my top 10. I also love how different the male and female forms are. I've always found it interesting when they do have different forms, but for the most part, the only other Pokemon who has different forms is the Nidoran. But even so, the Nidoran male and Nidoran female aren't that much different, other than Nidoran female, she's a bit more rounded, whereas Nidoran male is a bit more squared, or boxed, or however you want to say that. And then, of course, they evolve into different forms. And that's one of my favorite differences between genders, because they even have their own Pokédex number. So, I believe Nidoran female comes first in the Pokédex, at least before Nidoran male, and then you have Nidorina and Nidoqueen. And then after Nidoqueen, you have Nidoran male, and then all the way up to Nidoking. Obviously, Meowstic is probably not going to have a different Pokédex number for its 2 genders, especially since it's supposed to... I don't know if it's been confirmed or if it's just fan theory, but from what I've heard, it's supposed to have a pre-evolution, and then depending on the gender, it can evolve into the female or the male Meowstic. But if that is the case, then obviously it's going to have the same Pokédex number, unless they do the thing with Gallade, where it has its own Pokédex number because it's a completely different Pokemon, but Meowstic, male and female, both have the same name, so it might still be the same Pokédex number. Coming up on the list, at number 2, we have Xerneas, the legendary. I was very excited when I found out that Xerneas was going to be a fairy type. When the game was first introduced, I went to GameStop and I put in my pre-order for Pokemon X, because I decided that I liked Xerneas better than Yveltal, And I knew that being Pokemon X and Xerneas looking like an X was most likely that I'm going to be able to find Xerneas in Pokemon X. So Pokemon X it was. And then after I put in my pre-order, I got the news. Xerneas is a fairy type. Yes! So looking forward to that. So, this fairy type legendary, the first of its type, makes its way all the way up to number 2. Topping off the list at number 1 is, you guessed it, Fennekin. So looking forward to this guy. I am definitely planning on doing my thing where I save right before getting Fennekin and then just keep doing it over and 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 over again until I get a female. Because this thing is just too cute not to be female. Plus, if it does wind up having the being a fire psychic type as a kind of a witch form, I'm sure it's going to be rather feminine looking and be really pretty. So I'm sure it's gonna fit that it's a girl. So I am very much looking forward to this. But when they announced that they had Torchic being distributed when they released Pokemon X and Y, that made me think, oh gosh, I'm going to have 2 fire types right off the bat. And if I catch Fletchling and it evolves into Talonflame, that's going to be 3 fire types. If I catch Litleo, that's 4 fire types. And then they told us that they're going to give us the starters from the first generation. And I was like, okay, Mega Charizard X looks totally awesome. And I really think that Mega Venusaur Mega Charizard Y looks totally awesome. We didn't know that it was X or Y at the time. Mega Charizard looks totally awesome. And Mega Venusaur, kind of got a little... I think they could have done better. I feel like they just sort of slot stuff onto him. But, he looked kind of cool. So I was like, okay, well... In my games, aside from Pokemon Yellow, because that was the first one I got, where you always have to get Pikachu, once I got Red and Blue, I always went for Bulbasaur. And Bulbasaur became one of my favorite Pokemon at the time. And it's like, I really want Bulbasaur. So, okay, I'll pick Bulbasaur. I'll have a grass type, for Pete's sake. I need something other than fire. And then the other day, I want this thing! Mega Charizard X. So cool looking. And it's the X form, so I'll be able to get it in Pokemon X. I really want that thing. Plus, I'm also kind of curious what would happen if you had a shiny Charizard and then evolved it to Mega Charizard X. Because Mega Charizard X is black with blue flames, and Shiny Charizard is black with blue flames. So does that mean that Mega Charizard X is going to be orange with yellow and red flames? I'm kind of curious about that. But my types, I have so many fire types, I'm going to be overloaded on fire types if I pick Charizard. So I could just go ahead and pick Chespin or Froakie. I don't like those guys. I'm really, really looking forward to Fennekin. No matter what happens, whether I choose Bulbasaur or Charmander, I am picking Fennekin. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I am getting Fennekin as my starter Pokemon, and I'm staying with her all the way through the game. I might just evolve Torchic all the way to Blaziken just so I can play with Blaziken X, or with Mega Blaziken. I don't know if I'm going to keep him as a main party member. He will be a fighting type, so aside from Pancham, I will at least have another fighting type, but... That whole Charizard thing just made me question just for a minute there whether I really wanted Fennekin, but I really want Fennekin. So, the main reason why I didn't put any Mega Pokemon in here, because there are some Mega Pokemon that I'm looking forward to, like Mega Mawile, Mega Absol, and of course Mega Mewtwo. I like Mega Mewtwo X as well, so that's going to be awesome having him in the game. If Nintendo doesn't let you catch Mewtwo naturally without relying on a giveaway through Mystery Gift, or an action replay, if they ever do decide to make an action replay for the 3DS, which they haven't yet, but if they do, I'm going to be really upset if Nintendo does not let you catch Mewtwo naturally within the game. With all that they've done to promote Mega Mewtwo Y and X, Mega Mewtwo Y was one of the first Pokemon that they announced in the games before they even told us what a Mega Evolution was. They showed us Mega Mewtwo Y and Sylveon. Before we knew about Fairy types, before we knew about Mega Pokemon, they gave us... That was like the second release that they gave us. After the starters and the legendaries, they gave us Mega Mewtwo Y and Sylveon. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad if I can't catch it naturally. I should catch it with a Pokeball. Totally gonna catch him with a Pokeball. Be like, okay, Pokeball, go! Oh, it didn't work. Anyway, also, yeah, definitely not going to use Blaziken against him either. Fighting type, weakness, Ace. Fennekin would be actually a pretty good choice since its final evolution is most likely going to be a Psychic type, so that would be good for me, because I can use my Fire type attacks and his Psychic attacks won't be very effective. So, yay, another reason to look forward to Fennekin. Anyway, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Oh yeah, one more announcement. I do plan on doing a Let's Play of Pokemon X when I get it. I'm planning on taking a few days off of work after the game comes out. I kind of need some time off. I've been on my feet so much that my ankle's starting to hurt, even after having my usual 2 days off in a row. So I'm hoping that I can get some extra time off after the game comes out so I can just sit there and crank out Let's Plays one after another. Unlike my Let's Plays for Pokemon Coliseum, which I do plan on still putting up, I'm not abandoning that, but I will postpone it for Pokemon X. I plan on having like hour-long videos. I really want to get this out as soon as possible because I know there are a lot of people out there who don't have 3DSs who really want to play this game. My friends Suki and Noriko included. I keep showing Suki all these videos and stuff about Pokemon X, and even he agrees I'm going to have some fun times playing with that. So I do plan on, I'm not going to space them out. I'm going to upload them as soon as I make them. So look forward to those. I'll probably do a box opening on the Let's Play channel. Link in the description to that channel if you've never seen any of my Let's Plays before. And I guess that's about it. I guess I'll talk more about that in the box opening. And then I will see you next time. So, see you on October 12th. Later.